Thwap.
Yeah.
Thwabang.
Thwap has been one of my favorite sound effects lately.
Thwap. Yeah, that's a good one. Thwap.
There's a good onomatopoeia, you know? It
Yeah, I was gonna
says
say,
what
yeah.
it sounds like, and that's what it is. It's a thwap.
It's like good comic book noise right there, you know?
Yeah.
Like you thwap someone real good, you ka-tang, yeah.
Yeah.
You're, we're ready for a brawl. Man, I want to play some Cuphead. It's been a while.
Yeah, I was playing that on my Switch a little while back.
Nice. That's a good call. I got Adriana to get into some Undertale yesterday. She thought it was pretty entertaining, actually.
Yeah. It's a funny little game. That's one I've been meaning to spend more time on, but I got so many games on my Switch right now.
You gotta play Undertale, dog. It's not even that long.
I got to
so
through like the first area, and I was like, yeah, this seems pretty good, and then I never picked it back up. Jenny
That's
recently got totally addicted to Stardew Valley because she got that on her Switch.
Oh, nice. Absolutely.
So, she was always a big Harvest Mooner, so she's going to be stuck on that for a while.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that game is just addicting, hardcore to anyone.
Yeah. Actually, just last night we were sitting in the hot tub at Villa, and there was this burly dude that was hanging out and talking to us about stuff. And we started talking about video games and stuff. And he started talking about how he was totally addicted to Stardew Valley.
Nice.
And this is after he was
awesome.
talking about how he was a sniper in Iraq and he was
Holy
this big
shit,
badass
that's
dude
awesome.
who's been sitting around playing Stardew Valley.
Playing fucking Stardew Valley. That's a hardcore video game
It
for
is,
sure.
yeah.
That's some hardcore shit.
Yeah.
You don't fuck around with your crops, okay?
If you're a gamer at all, you're gonna get totally addicted to that. It's like crack.
Absolutely, yeah. I got Adriana really into that one. Even she's not even super big into gaming or anything.
Yeah.
It's just it has a very addictive quality to it. I'm really excited for the same guys doing like a magical school sort of game.
Yeah, I heard a bit about that.
It's supposed to be, I think it's coming out this year and next year, and it's supposed to be pretty much like Harry Potter Stardew Valley, which sounds awesome to me.
That's a good idea.
Sounds super cool. Yeah, I love that idea.
Yeah.
And we also get, speaking of Undertale, we get Deltarune this year, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I thought that was coming out in chunks.
I think it is going to come out in chunks, so they'll probably put out the first part first. Obviously, it's only Toby Fox working on the
we
game,
got the first part, right? Wasn't that what the demo was? It was just part 1 was free?
Well, I think the demo it's only an hour of the game, so I think they're gonna do a bigger chunk for the first.
Well,
I'm not.
I imagine,
positive,
the hour of free gameplay, that's the free demo, and so then when you actually pay for it, he's got to put in a lot more time to make it an actual chapter, right?
I imagine it'll be fleshed out a little bit more.
Yeah.
As a gaming journalism, it's my job to say fleshed out at least once during this podcast.
Absolutely. You actually have to pay a fine if you don't say that enough.
Definitely should have a fine if you're not saying fleshed out enough. Anyway, welcome to the GameSpill podcast, Peter.
Thank you.
How's it going? How are you doing?
It's going great. I feel very welcomed.
Yeah, you're feeling welcomed. I'm glad. I'm glad that I could be a gracious host to you, to my co-host.
Yeah.
What have you been playing recently? What have you been doing?
Oh, more Pokemon. I had to go out and buy those Let's Go Eevee because I want to catch them all.
Yes. Yes, you want to catch all 1 jillion Pokemon.
They're at 800 or 900 now, and I used to have 700 or 800 back in the day on the old ones, but now I gotta start fresh because of Sword and Shield.
Soon you're gonna have your Pokemon home too, so you can when
that gets released. That's the whole reason I bought the Let's Go Eevee was because when that gets released, you're gonna be able to move Pokemon from there into the new ones, into Sword and Shield.
Yeah, I think in the direct they were actually, I was just taking some notes on this. February is when home is launching. It sounds like so not far off now. You'll be able to have all your Pokemons in one place. You'll be able to pet them and live with them. You could feed them curry.
I don't know why you would do that, but
does curry do anything?
That's how you get them to like you. If you want to get an Umbreon or an Espeon, or you want to evolve something that has to like you to evolve, you have to feed them stupid curry and play with the stupid toys.
I always thought that was an arbitrary value that they had in Pokemon, where it's just I don't know if it likes you or not.
If it doesn't evolve based on how much it likes me, I don't care if it likes me. You know?
Yeah, right. I don't give a shit.
One,
It's a digital. It's a digital monster.
It's a digital Pokemon. I don't care how it feels about me. Like in the new ones, when you're like battling, you'll like throw it out, and before it doesn't attack, it's like it's thinking about eating curry with you. I'm like, I don't care what you're thinking about.
I don't give a shit what you're thinking about. I told you to do something, and you will do it. Okay.
Yeah. Don't tell me what you're thinking about. I don't care.
So, are you excited to get that Mew? You're getting
I
on
got
that
the
Mew level now?
But the Mew is at level 1. So I need to get my copy of Sword back from Justin. I let him borrow it so he could play through it. But I need to get that back so I can do a full new playthrough with a level 1 Mew.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're going to play through the whole game with a level 1. That's a cool idea. I like that.
Well, I mean, it's going to be level 1 at the start, and it's going to be like my main. Instead of using one of their stupid starters, I'm going to use Mew, which will be pretty cool.
Yeah, you're going to be a badass. You're going to be like the most legendary trainer in all the land.
Yeah. And as soon as Pokemon Home happens, I'll be able to move over like my Blastoise, my Venusaur, and a a lot of the other ones that aren't currently in those games.
Yeah, those are gonna all get like not mega evolutions. They're
basically
the Gigantamaxing, right?
Yeah, Gigantamax. Yeah, there's Dynamaxes when they don't look special. Gigantamaxes when they do look special.
That's right. I think at least from the art they were showing off in that little trailer, it does seem like at least Blastoise is gonna have like a special look to him or something like that.
I did like the Mega Blastoise. Do you remember he had like the big cannon coming out of his back?
Yeah, I loved that. I thought Mega Evolutions were a super cool idea because they were
more than the Gigantamax stuff. If I'm honest,
I agree with you. I kind of wish they would have gone with that. It reminded me a lot of like Digimon, as much as I know how you.
I'm not a Digimon guy because it deserves to be crushed under the foot of the mighty Pokemon.
I do agree that Pokemon is better, but I loved that they had like just infinite amount of evolutions. It's just like, oh, we're super mega ultra, pretty
much
morphing
like
now.
Any Pokemon you can imagine that's already fully evolved, it can now mega evolve too, and that was just cool.
Exactly.
Like we're adding a new form for pretty much every Pokemon.
I always thought that was a neat idea, especially instead of just adding new Pokemon, just giving older ones more evolutions. I always thought it was just a great idea. Like,
they used to do that all the time.
Right? Like especially with like Gen 2 and Gen 3,
Gen 2 and Gen 3 had a lot of that, or like baby versions of the old Pokemon. Or
exactly. Kind of making their current version the evolution or whatever. I always liked that idea a lot. It kind of fleshes out the Pokemon universe, if you will.
Yeah.
I have been kind of in between games. I've been trying to finish Disco Elysium. That's my big push right now. And I am just about finished with Star Wars Fallen Order now, finally. That game has been taking me longer than I thought it was going to.
Yeah. It's a pretty long game. It's like a long story.
Yeah, I've mostly been kind of meandering around doing side quests and stuff like that. It's really fun just to explore around and, mess up stormtroopers in that game for sure. So I've been doing a lot of just side quest junk, but now I'm kind of getting to that point where I'm like, all right, I'm ready to move on to other things. So. Plus, we got a lot of games coming around the corner. Yeah, I still need to finish like Pokemon and Link's Awakening and stuff like that too. So my backlog is starting to weigh on me.
Yeah, everybody's got a backlog.
Yeah, oh man, God, yeah, for real. I mean, and there's probably games from the past decade that I still need to go back and play.
Yeah.
So. But we still got a couple months now until we get that avalanche of new titles coming out.
Yeah.
So now Cyberpunk actually just got delayed today, which is kind of a bummer. But I'm also excited that now I don't have to worry about.
It's a bit of a relief,
Yeah, honestly, it is a total relief to me.
Yeah, too many games coming out. I didn't think that was a thing, but I just don't have the time or money for that many games. It's too many.
Exactly, yeah. So especially Cyberpunk being pushed out, I am totally okay with. I want to just live in that world, and I am fine with them taking more time.
Well, also they pushed it back to September, and that's just going to push it out with the rush of fall games.
That's probably
that we get
true.
Every year, there's going to be games this fall.
I was kind of hoping with the new consoles coming out later this year, we might have a little bit more of a dry spell as far as game releases go later in the year.
That's
true. I say I'm hoping, but I just mean I want more time to play Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
But especially with new consoles coming out later this year, I'm kind of curious how many kind of bigger AAA titles we're going to end up getting later in the year. But we're supposed to get that new Assassin's Creed game supposedly, so
I bet that'll be one of our fall games. I would not be surprised.
Almost guaranteed.
Unless they choose to go like PS5 release title, we're gonna get it. this fall. And also, we're probably going to get new consoles around this fall. So,
oh, absolutely, yeah. I almost guarantee we're going to.
I bet Cyberpunk will be one of the last PS4 games I ever buy, maybe the last.
Probably, yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised if they did sort of a cross-system thing with that too. If I'm being honest, that might even have something to do with them pushing it out a little bit.
Yeah.
I could see them kind of releasing it on PS4 and Xbox One, and then a couple months later they release it on PS5.
That's what they did, or a lot of people did on the last console generation. Moving from PS3 to PS4, like Grand Theft Auto and a ton of games came out on both consoles. It was just a few months apart.
Yeah, even Assassin's Creed Black Flag did that, for instance.
It's like you can play the game now on your crappy console, or you can wait a couple months and play it on a fancy new one.
Yeah, exactly. So, and especially with this kind of not being a giant jump, but more of an iteration on what we already have.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a lot easier for developers to kind of push their game over onto these consoles. I guess we'll have to see until we get more info.
I've heard that the PS5 is easy to develop before, but I don't know anything about that side of things,
That is what they said, yeah. Apparently it's going to be totally backwards compatible too, which gives me hope
I was curious about that. Do you think that means that it will be backwards compatible, like you can play PS4 games, or is it going to go all the way back to PS1? Like you can play old-ass games?
Yeah, the last thing they said is you're going to be able to put anything from PS1 up to PS4 discs into the system and have them play on the console, which sounds amazing.
That is beautiful
to me.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. Holy shit. We won't have to worry about whipping out our old PS3s anymore to play
hooking up these
old
stupid
games.
component cables and shit.
Totally. Or buying into PlayStation Now or some stupid bullshit like that. I have so many PlayStation 1 and PS2 games just sitting around collecting dust. I would love to pop
lying around that I'm glad I never sold, but it does seem too good to be true, right?
It does. Yeah, it seems way too good to be true.
I don't believe it. I'm skeptical because that seems too good to be true.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to wait and see when we actually get some PlayStation news here and see if they end up following through with that.
Yeah.
I would imagine if they end up going that route, they're probably going to emulate it inside the PS5, I would imagine.
Something like that.
I'm not really sure. Something cool like that. Anyway, I guess we should get to the actual topic of the podcast today.
Yes.
We're going to talk about Skyblivion and Skywind a little bit, right?
Yeah.
We're pretty excited about these big mod projects, reinventions of old games, especially being obviously based on Elder Scrolls is exciting.
Yeah.
And especially I think Skyblivion has been getting a lot more coverage as of recently, as if it's kind of getting closer to a release.
I think Skyblivion's got to be easier to develop for than Skywind, just because there's a whole game gap distance between Morrowind and Skyrim, whereas Oblivion was the game right before Skyrim, so a lot of the things are more similar. I would guess.
I don't know, obviously. You did mention earlier before we started the podcast that it does look like they're both under this TES renewal project, so probably separate teams or something.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of work for them to be completely remaking these, especially Morrowind.
Really curious how long it's going to take too, Like these were announced like a few years back now. Like they've been on development for a while. But it's
oh my god, yeah, for real.
It's got to be so much work.
Oh my god, yeah, especially they don't get paid to do this or anything. It's just a team of people we wanted to remake, Oblivion and Skyrim.
It's just fans, who are just passionate about Elder Scrolls. They want to see this remake more than Bethesda does,
Yeah, for real. I mean, they clearly have come along a lot longer of a ways in doing this sort of thing than Bethesda ever has.
Yeah.
In fact, I think they've said in the past that they're like, that'd be way too much work. We don't want to do that.
We're not doing that. Sorry.
So these people took it upon themselves to do it, and it's pretty impressive looking, I gotta say.
They got permission from Bethesda to do this.
That's
they said,
right.
As long as you are not selling this mod, go ahead and make it.
That is super cool. I mean, knowing Bethesda and obviously their long history with modders and stuff like that, it does kind of make sense. But
I would
this
like
is easily
to see, when you look at the websites, they're like, these aren't coming to consoles for, a myriad of reasons. But I would like to see, eventually, if these do get finished, they are beautiful and polished. What if Bethesda buys it and then just releases it,
See, now that's a cool idea. Yeah. Oh my god.
Also, are you seeing all this footage? It's beautiful.
Oh my god, it's beautiful. Yeah, we'll have to rewind this and talk about it more in a second. But yeah, I think it's insanely impressive that they're going through all this work, and it looks great.
Yeah.
My god.
It looks even better than Skyrim, really.
Yeah, no, for real. It does. It honestly does look a little bit better than Skyrim. It seems like it's a little more lush and filled in. I would imagine they can go a little bit further with the graphics and stuff. Yeah, I'm curious how all this works. Like, because a lot of these assets look almost straight up pulled from Oblivion.
Well, yeah, a lot of this is built fresh. Like they tried to build it to look exactly like what it looked like in Oblivion. You know, like they're starting from scratch in a lot of instances. Like for designing weapons and armor and enemies and stuff. As far as I know, a lot of this is just built from the ground up.
That's amazing. It looks really fantastic for especially just a team of modders working on this. It's
random community members who are just, really want to see this remake.
I'm sure the planning on this is a nightmare because they probably have people in and out all the time doing God knows what for this,
Yep.
I'm sure it's a nightmare to develop this thing, but I saw them doing a stream not too long ago. I want to say it was this one where they're making the spooky ghost. And they were just walking around and talking about the game, and it was pretty neat.
Just showing off all the work that they've been doing.
Yeah, just showing off all the work they've been doing. And it looked pretty, complete, actually. It didn't look like they were missing too much.
I mean, all the footage that I've seen, which is obviously all the footage that they want to show me, everything looks great. It all looks finished to me, like everything that they've shown, they've obviously finished. But
yeah, I'm curious to know how far along they are with this.
It's such a massive landscape and a huge game that how close can they be,
I imagine it's probably a lot of the bulk of the work just comes from remaking the quests and getting the dialogue to all work with the new models, and I'm not particularly sure about all the little things they got to do, but seems like a lot of fucking work that they put into this.
It definitely does. And just that little camp settlement, you remember all the little camps that were spread out everywhere. Yeah. They're gonna look so much better. It's not just gonna be this, shitty looking cloth over a lean-to. It's gonna be like a camp, like that.
It seems like they have dynamic weather and stuff like that too, with Skyrim. So
definitely,
which obviously Oblivion did not have at all. Everything was just a really pretty looking forest most of the time.
Yep.
Man, yeah, it is impressive looking now.
Yeah, that was always one of the things that I liked more about Oblivion, though, is just that it was a prettier landscape than Skyrim, where sure, it's pretty, but it's all dry and desolate and frozen and dead,
True. It had a very lush, high fantasy sort of looking.
I like that high fantasy feel. That's more my style,
It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, it's a bummer that they don't let you try it or anything like that.
Yeah.
We might have to try and hit them up and see if they would let us get a build of it.
See if we
I'm
can
not
put
sure
it on
how
our
under
channel.
wraps anything is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're big fans of digital therapy and Brandon Gilligan.
Yeah, big fan. I love this Umbra weapon that you pulled up, though. It's such an awesome looking weapon. It's gonna be animated to have that laser beam going around.
Yeah, I love the laser beam going around. It's
so
sick as hell. You sent this to me just in a picture the other day.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we decided to talk about this because it's been on my mind for a while now, for sure.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's Mehrunes Razor.
Yeah, it's awesome looking. It's got even the sheath. Look, it's so cool. They designed it really well. It's got the Oblivion symbol on there.
Good looking,
it's the Daedric symbol. It's super cool.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I love the black leather and stuff too.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I went. Let's see. Maybe they got under about or something there. It's just a volunteer-based program. Upon release, our mod will be completely modular, which means that the player will be able to choose what component he or she wants to have installed. This includes all enhancements developed by the team, such as the landscaping overhaul. Interesting. So it's really just a big overhaul they're doing for the game. They're probably using a lot of the same assets from Oblivion and stuff, and they're just kind of upraising them or putting them into Skyrim, sort of.
Yeah. Basically building it in the Skyrim engine, I think, is the big deal.
Yeah, exactly. And it looks like you're going to need a copy of Oblivion and Skyrim, which is very interesting.
You're going to need to own complete versions of both games, which is a $60 value if you were to buy it all full price from Steam.
That is funny that it's a $60 game to get this up and running.
And I would totally pay $60 for that,
Oh, absolutely. Oh, my God. It's a bummer that Bethesda never wanted to do this, because I would think it would just be a killer with the fans,
If Bethesda had decided they wanted to do this after Oblivion was released, 9 years ago, imagine how far they would be.
Oh my god.
Probably would have
right,
released it a couple years ago.
They got some pretty big names on board with this too, like Shroud and Sinister Gaming, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Pretty big names going on here.
Yeah.
GameSpot.
They accept donations and stuff. You know, if we wanted to get real cool with them, we could give them some money.
Oh yeah, give them some money. There we go. That's how we get in good with them. Where's the last update we're looking at? Designing Black Marsh and Fort Bulwark.
Yeah.
So this was actually just January 15th. This was literally yesterday, actually, that they were working on this. That's pretty cool.
Yep, and they do these releases too. They got like the news page where they'll tell you like, what have we been working on lately? Like, what did we just finish?
Yeah, I just was watching them do a stream not too long ago. Or I mentioned that earlier, but it's pretty cool to see that they're still working on it and trying to get it up and going, especially because they haven't had updates in a minute.
Yeah. You should check out some of the like trailers and stuff for Skywind though. Skywind looks pretty cool too.
Yeah, we can check out Skywind too. I think this one is a little bit less far along.
Yeah.
This is just like a development video. It looks like
it's just showing like them making it and getting it all right.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get a trailer up and going.
Yeah.
Skywind Call of the East trailer 2019.
Yeah, but look, in this trailer, like all the weather effects and stuff, they were pretty heavy on weather effects in Morrowind, because it was like a volcanic ash, or there was weather there. But it looks so much better now.
Oh my god, yeah, especially this one is a gigantic upgrade.
It's
Holy
a huge
crap.
difference from what Morrowind looked like.
Yeah, Morrowind used to look like, or it looks like shit right now.
It still does, yeah. Like the graphics did not age well.
No, they did not age well. It's pretty rough looking. The gameplay is rough looking too, or rough playing.
Especially with like the combat when you can't hit them because you didn't roll a high enough number. It's like, what the hell is this, man?
We did that for a video over on the Digital Therapy channel like a year or two ago, and I remember totally forgetting about a lot of that.
Like,
so, oh my god, this looks
this
great.
Game has some issues. Like you get those, whatever. When you think back and you think it's awesome, and then you look at it and realize how not awesome it actually was.
Yeah, totally. It's like when you haven't played an old game in a long time, and you're like, oh my god,
there's a word for that, like the nostalgia taking over, making you think something was better than it was. But I don't remember what the word is right now.
Totally, man. This looks amazing.
It looks
Holy
so much
crap.
better. It looks better than Skyrim
so
again. It looks
good.
Like a modern game. It looks so good.
It looks awesome. We'll have to pull up like a Morrowind trailer here in a second. Yeah. But my god,
there are
this
some
is
like
just
side-by-side
amazing.
screenshots of like the old armor versus the new armor, and it's just crazy the difference.
It is insane. I don't even remember Morrowind like looking like this because it looks so bad. Like it doesn't look anything like this.
It was not an accurate representation of the picture they were trying to paint. They just didn't have the capability for it.
Yeah, no, definitely not. It definitely seems like this one is not quite as far along as the other one. They definitely have more videos and subscribers over on the other channel, but
every time I watch this like gameplay footage, this is what I watched, and it's crazy. Like everything that they show, everything that they walk through here is all pretty much built. It all looks great. Seriously.
Oh, and the armor in the towns looks so awesome.
Yeah.
That takes me back hardcore. Yeah. Especially that bone armor. Oh my god, it's iconic Morrowind right there for sure.
And I want to say this is in like the second town that he's in right here with the big bridge over the canal, but
yeah, I'm forgetting what this town is called, but yeah, there's like there's a quest to kill some rats in a sewer in this one. Yeah.
I'm also curious, like, what order are they doing it? Do they just start from the beginning of the game and work their way through it, rebuilding the whole thing, or is like the end of the game's finished, the beginning of the game's finished, and there's a chunk in the middle they still need to work on, or like, where are they at?
That's kind of what I was mentioning earlier. Is it's like it must be a nightmare trying to plan all this out and get it all going. But holy crap,
especially because it's all volunteer run. You get a new volunteer and like, all right, now I need you to work on this chunk, like this one dungeon. I need you to go through and polish that or whatever. Whatever that person specializes.
Yeah,
in.
This one house or this
whatever
level
your
or
job
whatever
is over here, and then eventually it all comes together somehow. But
man, yeah, this just looks amazing.
Awesome.
God, it looks so cool. Yeah. It was at Gamescom too. We got to get to Gamescom, dude.
Yeah, one of these days.
Man, yeah, where are they at? Maybe they got some updates up in this
they got
bitch.
a pretty big fact page here.
Man, I can't believe that it came out in 2002. Yeah, actually, we should.
Yeah, it makes you feel old, right?
Morrowind trailer.
And I think Oblivion dropped in 06 too.
Yeah,
So
I think you're right actually, because that's
like
the year the
14
Xbox
years
360 came
old.
out.
It's crazy.
Everything is so dark.
Like
There we go.
See, and look at how good that is. Look at the graphics.
It's rough looking.
Yeah, and you see
It's
the way
really
people walk
rough.
around, the walking animation.
Oh, I love the Argonian. Yeah, it's like tiptoeing around everywhere. Oh man.
That was one thing
this is.
that I was reading on the fact. It said they were not likely to keep like the shape of the Argonian's feet. You know how like in Skyrim everybody's pretty much got normal feet, whether they're Argonian or Khajiit, and like
Yeah,
in
back
Morrowind
in
they had weird body shapes.
Yeah, actually, if you were a beast character, I think there was certain armor pieces you couldn't wear.
Yeah,
because
they're
of the shape of
they're
your feet
getting
and
rid of
stuff
all
like
that. They're not gonna have any of that.
Which is a great idea. Yeah, I mean,
I do trust also all of the changes that they're making too. You know, like they talked about the collision-based combat where it's like, yeah, it was, you know, the exact clip of it was funny. They're like, are you gonna have the same like, you know, random chance hit combat like they did in Morrowind? And they were like, no, hell no,
God,
man,
no.
Fuck no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that is not fun to play.
That
no one
sucked.
wants
that. Was like the worst part of the game, and they're like, no, we're gonna obviously fix that.
Yeah, I definitely like the quality of life sort of stuff that they're updating. Just making the game playable is great.
Just
especially going back and playing
with Morrowind. That's the whole idea here.
Man, it is really neat though. I mean, obviously there's no release date, or I don't even think they have. I'm sure it's infrequently asked questions.
When you look at it, they're like, no, we would be unable to give you a reliable release date. We don't know, and we don't want to disappoint you by moving the release date back, so they don't have it.
Absolutely. Well, especially with Skywind, like we're mentioning, I think it's a lot further behind the Skyblivion. Which,
maybe that's just their PR team is better at Skyblivion at showing the progress off, though.
Yeah, maybe. Not sure what's all going on here, but I like to see that they're still updating it and trying to make an effort. They even just made a new teaser trailer not long ago, so I wouldn't be surprised to see this coming out in in coming years.
In the next year or so, I would be real happy if this just dropped out of thin air. You know it's going to do that too. They're going to be like, oh, it's done, download it today.
They're going to be like, yeah, we think this is good enough to where most people can play it now, you know. And
I hope that they continue to support it after they release it. You know, like they talk about how they started doing the Shivering Isles, and they're like, well, it doesn't do us a lot of good making the Shivering Isles if you can't get out of the prison in the very beginning of the game. So they stopped bothering with the Shivering Isles, and they went just for the core game, first of all, and then they say maybe, afterwards they'll get around to the DLC.
It would be really cool to see Bethesda try and pick something like this up. I gotta
cool.
say,
like if they see, like they're like, give us a demo of your work and we'll see what quality it's at. If it's good enough, we'll buy it. We'll buy the team that does it, and we'll buy it because Bethesda's got money. That's not a problem.
Yeah, that's for sure. I would be surprised if they did something like that, but it would be cool to see them, especially with their history of mod communities. Yeah. Oh, we could do a graphics comparison here.
Oh, nice. Like a side-by-side?
Yeah.
God damn, it all looks so good, though. And the music is so good in this game, too. Like, just having the original soundtrack is all you need, because it's beautiful.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Especially the Oblivion soundtrack is absolutely fantastic.
It's like the best game soundtrack, besides, like, Sonic 3, obviously.
We still go back and use a bunch of Oblivion music, like when we play D&D and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's because it's like the perfect fantasy music, It's just so good.
Absolutely. Iconic AF.
Yeah.
Is this on the original game?
It looks a bit like it. It's running kind of choppy, though, it looks like. Now, there's the original game. There it is. You see the big difference.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's weird to look back and see that game just rough looking.
Yeah. Like the big difference.
Really...
Like even like this footage is a little choppy. I don't know if that's just, this footage or what it is. Maybe it runs like that. Hopefully not, but it's always a huge difference in quality.
Totally.
Just the lighting effects.
That one is
and
really big. Just how the characters
buildings.
walks. I love that comparison right there.
Yeah, it's the same street, but it's just like, oh, man,
oof,
that looks way worse.
Right? I'm gonna give this 700th like here.
Only 700 though. That's a shame.
That's totally a shame.
Yeah.
This needs way more. Yeah, if you're listening to the podcast, go and check out Skyblivion and Skywind, of course. Give them some love over there. They need it.
Need more popularity. They're not as popular as I would have hoped.
Definitely.
They should be more popular.
I would imagine when this actually gets a release date, this is gonna blow up. I think people are gonna be obsessed with this thing when it actually ends up coming out.
It's gonna be a real good reason to own a gaming PC.
Totally, you're gonna see everyone and their mom streaming this on Twitch. I have a feeling.
I bet.
Really, really popular
Just because
idea.
it's like its own game, It's huge. It's a big thing.
No, for real. It's like kind of a big deal. I gotta say, it's totally a big deal. Shoot, it's a bummer that they don't have any release dates or anything yet for this yet, though.
It's
totally
all
lame.
We can guess at hopefully in the next year, but that's a complete guess.
They started this back in 2012. Holy crap. That's crazy.
They've been working on it for 8 years, so they gotta have a fair amount done. They did talk about, in the FAQ I was reading, they were saying that the progress is not like a steady thing. That's why they can't give you a release window even.
Yeah,
because,
absolutely.
1 week they might get a shitload of it done, and then for the next month they don't get jack shit done because it's community. It's just random people donating their time. So you really don't know how much they're going to get done in what amount of time.
It really is a shame that Bethesda isn't lending a hand to something like. You would think that
dumped some money and some manpower into this, they could get it out and buy it, and it would be beautiful.
Seriously.
I would give them so much money for that.
You would think that they would be into wanting to do something. I mean, I'm sure it's a giant undertaking, especially recreating these. Oblivion and Morrowind are gigantic video games, So, and recreating that in the Skyrim engine, cannot be light work.
No.
But you would think they'd be interested in doing something like this. People are ecstatic about Elder Scrolls.
Yeah. They have the fan base, but I think, Bethesda just looks to the future, and they want Elder Scrolls 6 to come out and just blow, Skyrim and everything before it out of the water, which, of course, I would be happy to see.
100%.
But
I'd totally
at the
be
same
down
time,
for
I would almost be even more happy to see this come out and be an official release from Bethesda,
I almost agree with you. I think it would be cool if they, especially just because it makes it, especially a Morrowind is such an old game. No one wants to go back and play that game.
It's almost unplayable these days,
It's almost unplayable.
Just not having
it's
a quest
really bad.
marker, or like if I try to play it on my Xbox without any mods or anything, especially like just the vanilla base game, it's like, this is rough.
It's rough.
This is a
it's
game
not
that is
easy
half
to get
Google,
through.
half GameFAQs, and half playing the game.
You would have to it'd be like back in the day when you print out a whole GameFAQs and put it in a
binder.
binder.
You print out the guide to this game so you can figure out how to get through it.
Just so you can read it while you're playing. Oh man, yeah, that could be actually kind of like a fun content experiment, is to do something like that.
But what's great about this is since it's being built in the Skyrim engine, it's going to have all the good things about Skyrim, including the compass, just telling you where to go.
Oh my god, yeah. That is such a small thing that it would make a gigantic difference. It's just giving you a compass.
Giving me a compass to let me know exactly where the location of this NPC is, because I don't want to search the whole fucking face of the land to find this dude who's wandering around by a shack who I need to turn in a quest for, Just point out on the map where he is so I can go there.
Yeah, you're reading your journal and it's like, there's a random bro somewhere down by the river.
East of the village.
Find
you're
him.
Great. East of the village. Great. I guess I'll wander around over there for a while. But look at this guy from the Shivering Isles expansion. They got that dude looking beautiful.
Right.
That looks straight out of Resident Evil.
Dude. Totally looks Resident Evil. Absolutely. So cool looking. Yeah. My God. What a huge difference.
Sword arm and all.
Yikes, that guy is just nasty.
He's a gross looking dude.
Man.
But go back into there. You can even see the Daedric writing on his skin. Some of those scars are in Daedric writing.
Oh yeah, shit, that is
the
cool.
level of detail is crazy.
It is impressive for a little just fan-made thing here. I gotta say.
It's real,
and I mean, it shows.
Real evidence that the community loves this game more than Bethesda.
Oh, for 100%, yeah. Well, Bethesda, we could get into a whole other conversation about Bethesda now. Oh
I don't want to talk about that. They just want money, but
they're a nightmare right now, dude. Oh my god, I don't even know what to feel about them right now.
That's why I want them to just go ahead and buy this shit up. Just skip ahead to we've almost got this game developed, and then we bought it.
Someone is doing what you're not doing. Just let them do it. Oh man, come on.
Yep. It's beautiful, though. This is a great look at the future. I'm way more excited about this than, most other new games I see.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we have anything on, Elder Scrolls 6 yet.
I don't think
Obviously,
it's
still
to us about that in
out.
A year now.
Yeah, I think the only thing we got on it was this super big teaser trailer.
Yep, this is the one trailer we've
2018, got.
2018, yeah. And it's like...
I'm not surprised,
really vague, It's like, look at this little bit of the landscape. We don't even tell you what province it's going to be in, but here is a little bit of the landscape.
This probably isn't even playable. This is just all a big.
This is probably just an animated cinematic. But what's funny is if you look at this view right here, people did look at the topography and the geography there, and they were able to match it to a place, and I think it was Hammerfell or the Somerset Isles. I think it was Hammerfell is where they're saying this game, we can almost confirm it's going to be in Hammerfell, because look on the map, there's the same ridge line and then the same mountains right next to it. Like, they were able to match that up to a spot on a map, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I would imagine we're going to end up seeing Starbound before we end up seeing this, too.
That's true.
It's quite a while out.
Yeah. But you got to imagine they've been working on it for a while. They must be.
True. Very true. We're probably getting... I still don't think we're going to see this probably until, 2025 or something.
Yeah, it'll be a while before we see it, I bet. But I want to hear more about it. I want some trailers and some, juicy footage.
I would like to see that, yeah. Knowing Bethesda, though, they'll probably wait until 6 months out until it's ready, and then just be like, we're going to drop it.
Dump a bunch of information all of a sudden. They'll be like, okay, here's what it's going to be about, what it's going to be like. Here's a giant idea of what the game is. Wait 6 months and then you can have it.
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder, Starfield gameplay reveal? That cannot possibly be Starfield gameplay. There's no way.
I doubt it. I feel like I would have heard about that if they did a gameplay reveal.
Definitely would think about it. This can't be a real video either, right? Starfield gameplay reveal. Let's check that out really quick. There's no way this is real.
It's like some weird leaker from, some weird website. Also, this just looks...
It looks like Fallout.
Yeah. This doesn't look at all like Starfield. This looks like Fallout 76.
It is Fallout.
Okay.
Or like a mod or something. I don't know what's going on.
This is definitely not Starfield. Why would they make another IP that looks exactly like Fallout and then just call it Starfield? Why? Why?
That's silly as hell.
Especially because it looks nothing like this trailer.
Right, it looks absolutely nothing like that at all.
Yeah.
I am curious to see what this is going to end up being, though. I wonder if they're going for like a Destiny games of service sort of thing, or it's going to just be like an Elder Scrolls or Fallout thing. I hope it would be like the setting
of Destiny, but I want it to feel like a single-player, hardcore, solo experience, like a Bethesda game is supposed to be.
I agree.
Like any good Bethesda game is.
I would imagine that's what they'll end up doing, but I guess we won't really know anything until they are a lot closer.
I bet, I think it was last year at E3 they talked about this, right?
It was 2 years ago now. I think it was E3 2018 that they ended up talking about it.
Well, then I bet we'll hear more about it this year, or at least get another little vague teaser like that for one of these two things, Starfield or Elder Scrolls. I'd be happy either way.
I definitely think they're going to end up doing Starfield first, but you're probably right, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if we heard something about Starfield at this year's E3.
Yeah.
Especially Bethesda likes to have a really big E3 presence, and
Yeah, can't blame them for that.
Interesting. No, of course not.
Oh, is that a picture? Wait, scroll up. Is that a picture of Todd Howard and Elon Musk hanging out together?
That is.
That's awesome.
That is. I forget when that happened, but it was at E3. So
apparently Todd Howard went to SpaceX to bring this authenticity to Starfield. So he went and looked at some cool space shit before making this game.
Very cool, very cool. Your boy Todd Howard out here.
With your boy Elon Musk.
With your boy Elon Musk, yeah. Oh man. So man, I'm kind of bummed about Bethesda right now. I hope they can come through this year and give us a little bit more after this whole Fallout 76
debacle.
Just nightmare. Yeah, debacle is a great way to put it. Yeah. What a great word debacle is. Do you got anything else to say about Skyblivion?
I think so. I think that about closes it up.
Yeah, I think we about talked about everything there is. Obviously there's not a lot out here right now, but it sure does look damn good, doesn't
Beautiful.
it? Man, I'm excited for this sort of thing. If you're interested in Skyblivion or Skywind, definitely go check them out on their YouTube channel or their official websites. Hopefully we'll hear about more of this soon. We'll definitely keep you guys updated with any news that comes out about this. And in fact, we should do like a Let's Play or something when we can finally get our hands on
as soon as we can. This. I want to play it as soon as possible.
Indeed. So, I guess that about does it for today's GameSpill podcast. We'll keep it a little bit short since the last couple episodes were very, very long. So, thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Peter.
This was the GameSpill podcast. We were talking about Skyblivion and Skywind, which are like user mod recreations of Elder Scrolls Oblivion and Morrowind. Looks pretty cool. We've been following this for quite a few years now. I think they started talking about this in 2012, so hopefully it won't be too much longer. Anyway, thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a kick-ass week.
Later.
Later.